Fresh and fit. Fresh and fit. Myron. The Fresh and Fit podcast is a US-based talk show co-hosted by Myron Gaines, who I think is great, and Walter Weeks. Fresh. Launched on October 6, 2020. Covers topics like personal finance, relationships, gender dynamics, politics, and lifestyle. I have to tell you, I've probably told over 1,000 young men about Fresh and Fit. Is everything about this podcast right? Is everything accurate? No. But I will tell you something. This information is critical because these guys hold the ladies accountable for what's their actions, basically. Always the bridesmaid, never the bride. You make $20,000 a week on OnlyFans, and then when you're 35, you are looking for a guy because all your girlfriends are married and have kids, and now you got nobody. You're making 20 grand a week, and you got a bunch of handbags and nails and Brazilian butt lifts and all that kind of stuff, but now you got to find a man because your biological clock is ticking. So Fresh and Fit talk about those issues. Now, Fresh kind of messed up. If you heard, about maybe 6 months ago, he got a girl pregnant, told her to take Plan B, the abortion pill, because he didn't want to have any kids. He said that he told her up front he didn't want to have kids. So he's preaching on one hand about men and responsibility and this, that, and the other, but he's sleeping around getting a girl pregnant, and then, so I don't have a lot of respect for Fresh. I really don't. But Myron, I just think Myron is all that in a bag of chips. Now, there's a couple things I disagree with him about, like Israel. He's got real thoughts on Israel. But, he was like a former law enforcement officer, and he points out the hypocrisy of women who want 6 foot tall, 6-pack, 800 credit score, a great job, 6-figure income. But then when they interview ladies and they say, hey, okay, you want these things, but what if the man asks you about your body count? And the woman says, hey, hey, no, I'm not going to talk about body count. That was then, this is now. And so he talks about the hypocrisy of men and women, where women have standards for us, but we're not allowed to have standards for them. They call it misogyny or sexism or whatever words they want to use. And of course, you got the Whatever podcast with Brian Atlas and this other guy, Andrew, who I really don't like. I think he's a hypocrite. He smokes and he married a woman with kids, so don't tell me about it. But with Fresh and Fit, like I said, I've probably told 1,000 people in the last couple of years, when I go to Target or I go to the drugstore, go to the grocery store, and if I see a young man, white, black, brown, I'll always say, hey, I have homework for you. And they look at me kind of funny and go, check out Fresh and Fit. And a lot of them have heard of them and some of them hadn't. But I really think it's very good knowledge that you're not going to hear from anybody else. And the fact of the matter is, a lot of young ladies are growing up in homes without fathers, right? And so they don't have a good father role model. And then they see their mother acting as father and mother, and it makes it real difficult. I mean, I'm very fortunate myself, married 41 years, got a daughter and a son, and my daughter and son have their biological fathers in their lives. But, my son and daughter have their biological father in their lives. But a lot of girls don't. And so they have a skewed or a messed up view of men. It makes it real tough. And God bless the single moms who work so hard as father and mother to do everything. But anyway, check out Fresh and Fit and see for yourself. See if you agree with it, disagree with it. Leave it in the comments below. Myron, thank you. I think you're doing a great job, and I continue doing it, man, because the word needs to be out there, and nobody else is going to talk about it. Now you may say, hey Scott, hey what about Andrew Tate? Well, Tate, I don't know. I think he's over the top. His life, I mean, he's got this lifestyle of cars and watches and cigars and airplanes. But, and if you do a Google search on him, you see Andrew Tate's, legal problems. True, I don't know what, but you got to Google Myron. He had this one interview with a lady where he really challenged her And man, the lady did not like it. Anyway, just Google them, Fresh and Fit. Check it out. See if you like it, see if you don't. And leave it in the comments below. Hey, this is Scott. This is life. This is truth. Peace.